Hello, my dear friends. I'm Summer, your old friend. Summer from China, a construction machinery integrator. Nowadays, more and more overseas friends prefer Chinese construction machinery. Cheap and good has become the second name of made in China. Do you know the reasons behind this? And do you know why Chinese equipment is always cheaper than Caterpillar and Kumasong? Today, let's take a look at the reasons behind this. First, let's look at the production capacity. China's current production capacity has achieved industrial clustering. Take hydraulic breakers as an example. In Summer's hometown, there are hundreds of hydraulic breaker factories. In fact, you could set up a factory to produce the hydraulic breakers in China within 1 month. Why? Because all the components can be sourced within 300 kilometers. Raw materials, high precision machine tools, heat treatment processing plants, and even the very experienced production line workers are all really available. So, against such a favorable backdrop, production is not difficult. Now, let's look at the price. Because the raw materials and processes required for production are relatively accessible, the price naturally isn't very high. As a customer, your task is to find a supplier that truly suits your needs. Let's talk more about the price. Everyone knows that you get what you pay for. Heavy equipment such as construction machinery is essentially built from materials. If your equipment you buy is much cheaper than others in the industry, it means the materials used in your machine aren't very good. There's no such thing. You never buy a high-quality product at a lower price. This answers the first question. Why is it cheap and good? Because the industry is mature and competition is fierce. Now let's look at why prices can't compete with Caterpillar and Kumasong. Actually, there are two reasons. One is product details and material quality. If you used the same materials as Caterpillar, it would be easy for China to find such materials. But the fact is, the production cost might reach 80% of Caterpillar's price. Then the problem is here. Customers like you are unwilling to pay just 20% less in Chinese brand. They'd rather spend a bit more and buy a Caterpillar. So the only option left is the second option, make the price cheaper. Even maybe 50%. To do that, you have to compromise slightly on materials and production processes. This makes it easier for the market to accept, and this is the approach in the current mainstream market. It's like a BYD electric vehicle. If their top brand had all the same features as Tesla, probably won't want to pay 80% of Tesla. You will directly buy a Tesla. So, the market has now reached a relative balance. Made in China means cheap and good. If the price is a bit higher, people are reluctant to accept it. However, Chinese manufacturers have found their own place in the market, and customers can get cost-effective products for a better price, and manufacturers can keep running by maintaining a low profit. What else do you want to know? Tell Summer in the comments and let's talk later together.